Yo, apprentices and acolytes, Star Wars Eclipse trailer has been out for some time, and I've taken all of these days to give you the best breakdown video. I hope you're ready. Ready up.
My destiny.
Let's get this breakdown going, fam. Alright, early in the trailer, we bear witness to one of the most beautiful and unique space shots we've ever seen in Star Wars. It reminds me so much of Rogue One's opening. Oh man, I love that so much. A space shuttle, presumably one of the characters you're going to play as, stumbling to the closest planet. This shot is littered with such a gorgeous space elements, you think that it's an entirely different franchise. We have a ringed planet filled with rocks, or perhaps maybe an asteroid belt enveloping a planet that looks to have a type of river system, if you can look closely. Then we have a giant red planet. I could be wrong, but this makes me feel like it's Yavin Prime. Yavin Prime is quite literally next to a blue looking planet, very similarly looking blue planet. And of course, with the Star Wars Squadrons concept art and screenshots, you can kind of see from that angle. But hey, you never know. This is just speculation, of course, but it would be so incredible to visit these planets at so early in the timeline. The next few shots, we have a gorgeous looking civilization and their what seems to be like Naboo-like architecture. Clearly, if you see Naboo in this same city, you can understand why so many people might believe these two different shots are from the same planet. But of course, these are hundreds of years apart from each other. I personally don't think it's Naboo, which is of course the planet that we see so much in the prequel trilogy, but it absolutely could be a planet entangled in a relationship with the Republic. You can easily tell by the ships in the skybox above the city. This planet is flourishing. This type of space traffic isn't something you would see in a lower class planet residing in the Outer Rim, struggling to survive unless it was greatly benefiting off slavery or spice or some other form of value outside the Republic's jurisdiction. Slightly to the left and above, you can see a variant or a ship that looks almost identical to the AA-9, which is the refugee ship Anakin and Padme rode in Attack of the Clones. These ships were famous for helping refugees, and that seems like something only a Republic planet would do. This next part is very quick, so get ready to squint. Did you see that? Yeah. This ship has a shape that we're going to see, and it's going to be very familiar throughout this entire trailer, so don't forget it. Now, as we move through the trailer, you can see some super cute pets, and I want them now. This has no significance, and I just wanted to waste your time with cuteness. Okay, alright, sorry, but for real this time. So there's two things here, okay? Why does this guy look like Admiral Raddus from Rogue One? But I just had to ask that. Here is what I'm more curious about. This heavily blue armored guard right behind him. Do you remember in The Phantom Menace when Palpatine is on Naboo and he's totally stalking Anakin and he has those Republic guards right behind him? I get a somewhat similar vibe here. And this is part of the trailer that resembles the same setting or planet that we've seen previously in the trailer that look like Naboo. I feel like they are the same planet, but a different part of the city. Does that make sense? Now we fast forward and we see a mysterious vendor who's giving me some Guardian of the Whills vibes. If you remember from Rogue One, Chirrut Inua and Baze Malbus, they were basically referred to as Guardians of the Whills, who are also known as Guardians of the Kyber Temple, and they were loyal followers of the Force who made their appearance in Rogue One. It would be so cool to see them again because I love those characters. I think they're actually fan favorites from Rogue One, so yeah, let's see them again. Now, in the next few frames, we see this huge, massive animal literally riding in the middle of this shop area, and there's also a very tiny person riding him. Whoever they are, they kind of remind me of Tito from The Force Awakens, that character that you remember that almost stole BB-8 before Rey saved him. We also get to see those Republic Guard looking characters again, and then we get to meet another shady looking character. His species is actually a Duros. This is the same species as Cad Bane and Shriv. He has so many attention-grabbing features, the attire filled with pockets, his eye patch saturated in gruesome-looking battle scar. What is this guy's story? This dude has been through it, and I'd be shocked if he wasn't one of the characters we will play as. There's also a Mon Cal here that looks like he's wearing these discount Jedi garments. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't think he's a Jedi, but man, he wants to be one. In the next couple of frames, we have this new species. We've never seen them before, and they are, in my opinion, the talk of the trailer. But I'm not going to talk about them now. just yet, okay? Just hold on. I promise we'll get to them. I just want to appreciate this shot so much. All right, we have to wait and pause because I just want you all to appreciate this shot. Okay, this is full-blown Anakin Skywalker Attack of the Clone vibes. Yeah, fam, this is Star Wars. Damn, it's so good. Alright, and look, it's your boy Yoda. Look at this dude peering out into the slowly developing Coruscant, which is actually one of the most important parts of the trailer, because this, in my opinion, really tells you the date of the era we're in. The website said the High Republic, but I really see this as the pre-prequel era. In the High Republic books, Coruscant is really just starting its major construction that will eventually stage it to look like what it does in the prequels. This shot obviously looks like that era of construction is all but complete. I think we're easily about 100 years, or maybe a little more, 150 years before the Phantom Menace. But look at Yoda, he's waiting for the game to release, and so are we. Alright, here we go. So these guys are actually somewhat still a little mysterious. They first appeared in Rogue One and were basically cited as pilgrims in the novelization, some of them as priests as well. And they're even said to travel to many religious locations throughout the galaxy. Maybe this does bring some more supporting evidence that wherever they are, the Guardians of the Wills may also be present, or some form of following to the Force other than the Jedi, which is also incredible because there's way more religions other than Jedi and Sith inside Star Wars, and I would love to see if this game kind of pierces through that. The next few frames are just hilarious. C-3PO's father? Yo, we found him, let's go. Okay, I just want to let this play. This scene is gorgeous. This setting is gorgeous. I don't know any other words than gorgeous. So let's take a look at two things. The planet. Look at this planet, okay? What does it resemble? Again, I am getting Yavin 4-esque vibes. Do you see the architecture, the structure? To me, oh man, it looks so much like Yavin. The temples and the structures that we see in Rogue One and A New Hope, this place reeks of the dark side. And we have two very young Jedi Knights, or even late Padawans, in a very deadly looking fight. I don't think this is sparring of any type. Star Wars always echoes with young Force users disagreeing and straying down a dark path. Also, if you take a look at their garbs, they feel very High Republic-esque, lots of gold and white. But also the setting of the sun too, you know, it's kind of like the sun is going down. Perhaps maybe this means the light is slowly turning to the dark. Lots of imagery, right? Or foreshadowing of what perhaps this battle has in store for us and what it's going to end like. Oh man, but I love it. I love these Jedi. Sheesh, this scene is so good, it's gorgeous. Okay, this scene is pretty confusing. I have no idea where this is, and a lot of people are saying Naboo or Kashyyyk. So again, Naboo we see a lot of in the prequels. You know, it's Palpatine's home planet, it's Padme's home planet, and there is even some shots in Attack of the Clones, like here, that I can easily see the area, this landing spot, being right around the corner from where Padme and Anakin went on vacation. And another thing is too, there's even a Naboo starfighter crashed and nearly sunken at the shore of this landing pad. But here's the thing, I can also challenge that same theory in the fact that the skybox doesn't look anything like Naboo, or at least that what we've seen in the movies. These are planets that are probably moons. They are just too near to each other in my opinion to be Naboo. Naboo only has about 3 or 4 known planets in its sector, and that starfighter also has a hyperdrive, which means it's not a short-range fighter. It is capable of reaching long-distance travel by hyperspace lanes. So yeah, maybe this is not Naboo and this is some planet on the Outer Rim. Just look at the flags. I feel like the flags on these shipyards is not something that is consistent in the Naboo culture or even the architecture. It seems very junkyard-esque, or several cultures kind of clashing together, kind of what we see in Maz Kanata on Takodono, right before you enter her castle. Do you remember when I said, oh, watch out for these shaped starfighters? Well, I think these look pretty similar. Now, if you look to the right, they seem to be advancing on this tower, very futuristic, industrial looking, black and gold with an ominous corporate logo. Now, we're gonna see this all throughout the trailer, and I can't wait to go over it. So we move on to this guy. This is a Nemoidian. These guys are always affiliated with one faction, and that is the Trade Federation. And I love the Trade Federation. I love Montgomery. I love all of these guys. We see them a lot in this trailer, and I believe the tower we just saw, the black and gold tower, the faction, and these guys will probably be the conflict, the main conflict, overlapping conflict in the game. Most likely the larger scale, shielding the more known good versus evil story that has been in Star Wars forever. This is absolutely going to be more so a political conflict story, which is very consistent throughout Star Wars, and that's what it's usually about. This part of the trailer is absolutely incredible. 2 sabers igniting, 1 yellow, 1 blue. The hilts of both of these characters are so neat and expressive, very High Republic-esque. As we know, the High Republic is probably some of the most uniquely designed lightsabers in all of Star Wars, and it seems like that stays consistent in this game. This is a curved hilt, so shoutouts to Count Dooku. I also kind of think this might be a woman or a female. The arm is very, very thin. They do seem to have some hips. And I'm also loving the Game of Thrones-esque fur on the other character. Oh man, I love it. Now, this group of curious-looking peeps here, these figures, I think they actually might be the Tals. This species has been known to inhabit a few snowy planets. They are very vicious fighters, not a tribe that you want to have a conflict with. And there's also a few other figures here that I can't actually identify. I don't have a good enough visual to really give you enough evidence on who they are, even give my own hypothesis, but I have no idea who they are. But whoever they are, man, they are definitely not the same or large looking as these Tals, or who I think are these Tals. Not much to say here except the fact that I think this is the Game of Thrones or X-Men actress Sophie Turner or Sophie Jonas. This person has a lot of likings that are very similar to her. And of course, Quantum Dream uses a lot of actresses and actors that are very familiar in their games, so I don't think it's too out of the realm of the possibility. Okay, now for my favorite shot in the entire trailer. It's that ominous looking corporation or the faction, whatever you want to call them. You can see their numbers here of the foot soldiers, the armored vehicles, their starfighters above, and of course, their main large class starfighters. Now, I'm not saying these guys have any relation to what we are seeing at the moment, but it seems like their likeness is very similar to Dryden Voss's security force, the High Loban Enforcers, Crimson Dawn, like the Crimson Dawn's colors, and even the First Light, Dryden Voss's personal ship. They all have all these similar attributes and colors, so I feel like this is kind of an inspiration to them or something. Man, I mean, the colors are cool too, so I can understand why they all look the same. I'm just gonna play this scene out, and that's because I love these space battles. I love the cinematic, and you get a perfect view here of the new faction starfighters attacking what we already know is an earlier version of the Trade Federation droid control ships. Then we have this beautiful work of art. This is immaculate space battle, Trade Federation versus this new faction. It is so very imposing. Very Star Wars, huge explosions, lots of ships. I love it. I also just enjoy the look of this mysterious new faction. I think the design of their ships are eerily outer-worldly, as in they don't really look like they're from the known Star Wars galaxy, and that's what makes them so sick-looking to think that these all came from uncharted space, maybe even another galaxy. Well, if you made it this far, thanks. Please subscribe. You all are incredible, and I can't do this without you. So let's finally talk about this new unidentified species. And I mean, Star Wars as we know it has so many unidentified species. We don't even know Yoda's species. So these drumming guys fit right in at home with Star Wars. Their surroundings are so dark, so scary looking. Oh man, it just, I feel like embodies some type of dark side aura. This ancient and dead looking tree roots coming out of the drums. The drums also have these hieroglyphics that can be seen. I'm not sure if they're legible or even a known font used in Star Wars. I believe it's actually completely original. I've never seen them before. It's so incredible to see. So This guy, you know, he turns around, and yes, everyone is calling him Voldemort. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, let's go with that. But let's look at his markings. His markings, man, they seem to be very different. Each marking on his arms and shoulders, they're the same, but then when you look at his lower shoulder and upper arm, they are different from each other. And I feel like that's kind of unique, so maybe they have different value or different meanings and definitions. They also do resemble a few species and characters in the known Star Wars universe, like Darth Nihil, also the Yuuzhan Vong, and of course the Rakatans. I feel like if all of these things fused together, they would literally create these guys that we're looking at right now. And that gets me so hecking hyped because all of those things are incredible. The Yuuzhan Vong, the Rakatans, even Darth Nihil. Wow, dude. I mean, such a huge comparison and likeness all created in one. So obviously something is happening here, right? We've seen this trailer so many times and we've noticed the name of the trailer, Star Wars Eclipse. We've seen an actual eclipse happening. So what do we know of an eclipse aside the obvious phase of the moon or sun blocking out one another, right? So the definition, and this definition I thought was so important, right? An obscuring of the light from one celestial body by the passage of another between it and the observer, or between it and its source of illumination. That's quite terrifying, and you know, Star Wars always has these echoing definitions. You know, you look at The Mandalorian, there's always, the title was always two meanings. So perhaps this trailer also echoes that as well with true meanings. Yes, there is a physical eclipse happening, but perhaps, of course, the dark side is trying to blot out the light, or perhaps the light is trying to blot out the dark side, you know, and that is so incredible about this trailer because it just keeps you thinking. And it's quite terrifying since we see in this trailer there is a literal fountain or pool. And out of this pool comes this being, either being born or perhaps baptized. And this is obviously their chosen one. This is their prophecy fulfilled. Now, the last bit I'm going to leave you with here is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, Abeloth. Abeloth has something we might be able to take from this trailer, and that was the pool of knowledge and the font of power. These were Force nexuses that gave Abeloth unspeakable, evil power. Are we going to see something similar here? Is this creature or person or leader stepping into one of those Force nexuses? Or maybe this is something similar that might share those attributes. Either way, I am so excited, and thanks for watching. Whew, fam, that was something. I cannot wait for this game. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. Please, if you made it this far, subscribe. I'll see you around. Deuces.